first one that I wanted to do with you today. It's this or that. Very easy. I will give you two options, and you need to argument why you would choose that. I think the first one you already pretty much define it, and I think which option you will choose. But street food in Bangkok or a burger in San Francisco?
Street food in Bangkok every day for the rest of my life. Please.
I thought
meat
so.
on a stick. I don't even need any sauce. Just any piece of meat on a stick from any stand in Bangkok is better than almost anything I could get in my 6 million population city of Phoenix right now in America.
Crazy. Riding a motorbike in Thailand or driving a car in the US? I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing in that case.
Yeah. Story, which is my grandfather who passed before I was born. He died a heart attack. Nothing, but I never got to meet him. He worked in an auto shop. He repaired cars. And he said, I never repaired a motorcycle for someone who lived. So the only thing he told my dad was you should never ride a motorcycle. And the only thing my dad ever told me is you should never ride a motorcycle. I love driving, love speeding. I respect the don't drive a motorcycle policy. So I will choose driving in America. But I will also say I suffer from road rage and I hate driving in America more than anything. It's the thing I hate the most. So great question.
Nice. No, I was just thinking on these videos in TikTok and Instagram and all of these people of the beaches with people full of like the covers from going without proper protections in Thailand and falling down with the motorbikes. Yeah. No? So going with the bikini only and then you end burnt. Cool. The next one, I don't know if you've been, but Songkran Festival or 4th of July?
Songkran is my ex-wife's least favorite thing in the world because she hates being sprayed with water. And Songkran is a holiday where children are allowed to spray adults with water, like as much as they want. So I'm going to choose Songkran in Thailand, but out of extreme, like funny meme, but just like picturing my ex-wife, how much she hated it and would talk about it. Like she wanted as hard as her only rule for when we lived in Thailand was, can we please not be there the first week of April when Songkran happens? I don't want to be in Thailand when Songkran happens. So it's so funny that you would ask that. Meanwhile, the 4th of July, I'm a dog owner, and it's the worst. Like our dogs hate fireworks, so I hate the 4th of July in America. These are great. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Songkran. Any holiday, like Thailand's a very kid-oriented culture. Very children sleep with their parents in the same bed until they're 10 in some families. It's and then this is funny too. At 12, you're like not a kid anymore, and they're like, you grow up. Like so, like. If you're a 10-year-old and you're crying and you're a boy, like your mom will hold you and hug you for like an hour. And then if you're 12, it's like, no, go. Like, so it's like, it's really abrupt. But Songkran is just wonderful because you get to really see how much Thai people will let kids feel joy, which is beautiful. It's beautiful. Really cool.
So this one, I didn't have it write it down, to be honest, but I will put it because you mentioned that you have Spanish or Cuban family, and absolutely then Mexican food from San Francisco probably, and from the area in California, common, so proper Mexican food. Spiciness of Thai food or spiciness from Mexican food?
Thai. There's nothing. Indian and Thai are like in competition in my mind. I've had both have made me sweat at this spot on my head. So that's like when like when you're sweating up here, it's a weird feeling. And in Thai, so my Thai family explained this to me, and I think it's true. I do believe them. Thai food is not why people love Thai food. Sauces is why people love Thai food. So it's like they just understand something about sauces, and they put like very few ingredients in each one. And that's the magic of Thai food. It's very simple. Most Thai dishes have like 5 ingredients. It's not a complicated big procedure with like 35 things. So the spiciness has to do with that because they know how to like slice the pepper, how much to put in. It's like very scientific. But if you go to Thailand and you're like not spicy, like they just like look at you. They're like, well, then you didn't want Thai food. Like, what are you like? They have this their salad. This papaya salad that's famous there is like you'll just it'll blow your mind. Like, you're like, this is a salad? I'm sweating. I'm like covered. Like, my armpits are like dense. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, Thai.
Cool. Last one. Speaking Thai fluently or mastering the art of Thai cooking?
I think it's easier to master the art of Thai cooking. And I would love to master that. I cook and I love cooking and I'm good at it. And Thai is the one area I never got into because the family I was with had servants, and then when you go to restaurants, the kitchens are in the back. So I've never like seen someone make fresh Thai food. So that actually, you just got me really interested in that.
Nice. I would love to know how to cook proper Thai food also.
Yeah.
I would be on that side also. So I would go to the next minigame. Looking a little bit on the time, I would jump to the Thai superstitions and myths, if they are true or false. I also will combine it a little bit with the previous one, which is if you have any experience or story related to that superstition, if it's a true one, I would love to hear it. But basically, I will throw you a couple of superstitions or myths, and you can tell me if you know for sure that they are true or they are false. There is theoretically a Thai superstition saying that whistling at night invites the ghost into your house.
I've never heard it that specific, but I know that much like Koreans have major issues with fans, Thai people have, and again, when I say Koreans, just for people listening, I'm not talking about like every Korean. I'm just saying the cultural history of Korean culture has a thing with fans, and the number 4, like these are things you can research. But in Thailand, they like really believe in ghosts and yet never talk about it. But these are true. Like, there's definitely this like thing, and one of the most famous American movies is an adaptation of a Thai like horror movie about ghosts. I think it's called Shutter Island or something. But anyway, yeah, they're really into like ghosts, but they don't. Like I said, yeah, you won't meet people and have them start talking about it. You know.
Nice. Pointing at someone with your feet is considered very rude. I think you already talked about this. So.
I mean, I talked about this, and this was I did make a list of things that I can bring up if we have time and you want me to. I made a short list. It's from my travel log, like when I used to like write notes. So I went back through all of them in preparation for this, which thank you, by the way. It was fun. I hadn't done this in years. And I'd forgotten about a lot of them. But yeah, the feet thing was scary. It's like literally scary because it would be like, let's say you come from a country where whenever you itch your nose, you do this. Like, you know? And then you go to America and they're like, people are just like,
what are you doing?
Like, yes. And Thai people don't get it. They're not like, oh, this farang, by the way, that's the word for white people. Farang, Farang. This farang doesn't know about feet. No, they don't care. You just gave them the finger. You just like made a gesture that is like vulgar. You know, there's like other ones in Italy I could do. You know, but the point is, that's weird for me. It's not weird. All of any cultural offense is weird if you look at it, you know, isolated. But yeah, it's very true. And it would be the other thing I would warn someone who's moving there is I would say, like, really learn that rule and pay attention to it and take your shoes off when you go in a place and like be really respectful with your feet. Wash your feet. My wife used to wash her feet 3 times a day, every day, even in California where you wear shoes all day.
Cool. I have the last one, and then I let you share a couple of your own because for sure you have better input than me. So I read that seeing a gecko in the morning, it's bad luck for the rest of the day.
That's weird. I never heard that one. And I don't even remember seeing geckos, but I did see a ton of lizards. They probably are geckos. I'm probably just thinking like too specifically. I don't remember that, but also I just want to reiterate the family I was with was super weird. They like really just weren't into some of these things. So I would, based on all my interactions with Thai people, of which is more than that family, I would say yes, that's probably true. I would just guess. I would err on the side of guessing yes.
Nice. So yeah, definitely. I think we have some time for you to bring your own ones instead of me finding ones that I found on the internet. So if you have any on your list, I would love to hear them.
Yeah, these are just like things I observed that Americans would find fascinating, and I think most Europeans would. Like, I think we're close enough.
Yeah, sure.
So like I said, I stayed in Hua Hin a lot, which is the King's Vacation Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought was really weird about Thailand is I saw a movie in Hua Hin and I saw a movie in Bangkok. So I know that this is not like that one theater, but when you go to a movie in Thailand, when you go to a sports event in America, you have to stand and do the national anthem. I'm pretty sure European football clubs do this too. Like, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know for a fact. But in America, it is like a fact that when you go to a game, you're supposed to stand up, put your hand over your heart, and sing, or at least like say the words or pretend you have respect for the flag, and you stare at the flag. So in all Thai movie theaters, there's like a scene where it shows the king on the screen and everyone stands up and you sing the national Thai song. You don't put your hand over your heart because that's not what they do. But that was scary, and weird for me. It was never normal. It never got normal. And I just kept thinking in a very bigoted way, like, I'm not proud of this. You people are brainwashed. You people are brainwashed, you know. But then in America, when I see a bunch of us stand up and sing the stupid national anthem, I'm like, you people are brainwashed. You people, you know, so it's like, that's why I'm saying, like, it's just like their version of the national anthem. Yeah.
Of course.
And then, so that was the most jarring thing for me. The lack of care about the environment isn't like fake or funny to me. Like, they literally don't care. It's not like it's funny to throw trash out the car, and it's funny to like have trash everywhere. And there's a reason that companies sell their plastic and all their crap to Thailand. Like, that country is just like welcoming garbage from around the world, and they're putting it in landfills, and they pay people to like break it with hammers. And again, this is like, look, America is built on sweatshop labor in foreign countries, so it's not like we're any better. I'm a participant in using a laptop made by a company called Apple. I am aware of so I'm not like here to lecture anyone, but I will say that I don't throw trash anywhere except in the trash. I pick up other people's trash in America. I am a California raised hippie. I just am. I love like clean oceans. So it was very hard to live in a country that shows you its lack of care and doesn't lie about it. In America, we lie about it. We hide it. We lie. We're just as bad, and we all know it. But they're like, the toxins in the river are like visible. Like, you don't eat fish out of a certain river. Like, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's one of the notes. This is in most Asian countries, I think, but they have dead chickens for sale all over the streets, and they always have the heads attached. And I always thought that was interesting, just because in America we don't even call a dead cow. We call it beef. You know, like, we have like fake words for everything. That's another thing about learning Thai is like, what's the word for beef? What? You mean cow? Like, you just call it cow. You're eating cow. Like, kids know they're eating cow. Like, that's, you know, there's no pork. It's just pig, cow, chicken. So, so that was a little like interesting.
I think this transitions, because in Europe, it depends also where you go. You always see with the head and the pork open. At least in Greece, is absolutely normal. For example, if you go to the market, everything will be hanging around. So it's very. I think the Easter you go, the more that animal culture you have, like, you see it as a normal thing. Like, okay, you need to eat something, so you buy it.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Well, I typically don't eat meat, and for years I've been this way, but I'm not, I don't tell people about it, I don't advertise it, and I don't care. I'll cook meat for my children. It doesn't, like, I'm not an activist, but I just have personal reasons. But I respect more the culture that shows the dead animal. Like, I want to make that clear to people. Like, I think it's dishonest and unhelpful to pretend that you're not eating a dead animal. I think you should respect that something died and it's to feed you, and that's the only thing I want to say about it. But I actually love that they do that in Greece. Going quickly through these, but it's interesting coming. So California was the first state in America to ban cigarette smoking outdoors and indoors. Yeah, and so you can smoke in like certain areas, but it's not allowed near an entrance of a building. You know, there's a lot of rules. And Thailand, it's just like a smoking culture, and it was just crazy to see like you can't smoke in movie theaters. Like, they have like one rule basically, but it was like very interesting to see adults smoking, holding it down below their waist where kids can like smell it, and like no one would like wave smoke away. You know, people just blowing it everywhere. So that was just interesting because, you know, you can see that in movies, but I didn't even grow up in a place where I saw that in the 80s in America. No one moves out of your way ever, and you have to push people, and you have to. It's not a choice. So you can't show up and be like, well, I'm not going to push. Okay, you're never leaving. You'll just be stuck in a shopping mall while everyone goes around you. Like, you need to literally push your way through people. That includes children and the elderly. You do not push the elderly or children. You push anyone. If they're in public, they know they're going to get pushed. So you wouldn't let your kid be in public. Like, if you're worried about your kid, you'd hold them up high. And if you're worried about your grandma, you'd leave her in the car. You wouldn't bring her in a packed environment. So that was very hard for me. Space issues are always hard for Americans because we are like, one person in one car. Like, yeah, and we're just like, so
big things.
They don't have Amazon, the company, which I know sounds like so silly to a certain portion of your audience, but
no, Greece doesn't have Amazon either. So
it's like, it's just weird. Like, you feel like helpless. Like, my printer broke and I work from home and I needed it, and I was like, oh, I'll just order one and have it shipped, and I couldn't, and I had to like drive to a shopping mall, and then I had to try to find a printer. It was like very just interesting because everyone says how much they hate Amazon here, and everyone complains and complains and complains. Most of those people still use it when they need it. Like, so, it's like a very fake thing. So yeah, that was interesting. Everyone stares at you. This is the same in Cuba. I just want to, because I've been to Cuba. So this is very popular in Latin American countries too, but I was not expecting it in Thailand because since they care about feet and since they care about like, how you like hold food and pass things, like I thought they would care about staring, but they don't. Mm-hmm. So I was stared at relentlessly, not because they never see white people, just because they're staring at me. and so
okay.
What's weird though is you're allowed to stare back. So after a while, it's a really fun vacation because you're allowed to stare at strangers. Like, you can study them. I wouldn't take out a notepad. Like, that would be a little weird. And I would definitely not photograph them. But yeah, you could just stare at someone. You could stare at an ugly person, an attractive person, this person or that. It doesn't matter. Like, there's no one's going to care. No one's going to accuse you of staring. You are staring. They are staring. It is okay to stare. So that was, yeah.
Very nice.
This is the second to last one. I don't know what it's like in the cultures. You've lived in many cultures. So, but in America, when you sneeze, people are supposed to say something. What they say changes. Some people say, God bless you. Some people say, bless you. Some people say, gesundheit. But the point is, it's this weird, stupid thing but you're used to it. And so in Thailand, they don't say anything. And it's very weird to say something because then you're calling attention to the fact that somebody sneezed, which would be rude. Because why would you say that? So I had to, like, when someone would sneeze, and then meanwhile, when I would sneeze, I'd look around and be like, what? Come on. Like,
nobody's giving you health.
Yeah. So, yeah, no one's giving me it. You're so funny. It's awesome. And then the last one, I brought it up, but I want to read how I wrote it because I wrote it right when I lived there. So I'm just going to read what I wrote this note. Sure. When you order food, you order enough for everyone. And then when the food comes, you serve yourself as much as you want. So you take the dish you ordered for the table, but you take it first. And you take as much as you want. And then if that runs out, you just ask if anyone wants more. And if even one person wants a little more, you order another order. You can use any utensil you want to serve food, including the one you're eating with, which is, according to Americans, disgusting and how germs spread. But also they had like less COVID problems than we did. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Maybe we don't know everything we think we know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but they didn't actually have the same problem we have. And they are a culture that pushes and shoves. And I think it's because they wear masks when they're sick and they're used to like, yeah. So, but I'm only pointing this out because when I tell Americans that you can take like your fork and then serve someone else rice with it, they're just like, that's disgusting and it's stupid and they must be sick all the time. And I'm like, no. And then, like I said, you never ask if you can take the first or the last of something. It's weird to ask, and it's always okay to use your hands. So you can, if you don't like using forks and knives, you can just use your hands in Thailand. No one cares. I love that. I'm a very relaxed person, and I just think when you're eating, you should just have fun. So Thailand is the most fun place for an eating trip. Like, Italy and Thailand, if you can pull it off where you go to those two, I would just say that's it. And then maybe a third stop in Japan. I would say those are my three favorite food stops I've ever been to.